Hello. So I applied for the production assistant position at Our State Magazine. Um, and as you can see here, we scroll down a little bit. Our State Magazine is an award-winning publication featuring North Carolina travel, history, and culture, and they're located in Greensboro. So essentially, the magazine focuses solely on North Carolina. They cover, stories of people who live there, of places, maybe showcase weddings, and different events and things of that nature. Um, and so I've always been a fan of this magazine to start with, and writing has always been something that I've loved to do, and something that I learned a great deal of in our program. So I feel like I could definitely take on a position at this place. So we'll start off by looking here. The first line, it says, Our State Magazine is looking for a detail-oriented multitasker to serve as their production assistant. I am extremely detail-oriented, sometimes to a fault. I can get kind of bogged down by details, but I'm definitely always very detail conscious, both at my job and in school when I'm working on a project. I don't like to leave anything to chance. I like to double, triple check everything. And I've become very good at multitasking. Of course, no human is perfect at that. But working in a very fast paced environment at my job, as well as having kind of strict deadlines in our program for different projects, I've become pretty good at multitasking and kind of thinking about several things at once and planning several things at once. So I think I'd be a good fit in that regard. And then it says, in this position, I'd be responsible for the production and administrative tasks for the print publication and digital products. While print publications are not really where I would necessarily want to go, for all time, permanently, I've always been interested in writing. As I said, I'm a huge fan of this magazine and magazines of this nature. So I think I would enjoy it a great deal, being involved with the print publications, and of course, being responsible for the digital products. I know a bit about InDesign, Photoshop, all that stuff, and so I'm definitely, I feel like, qualified in that regard to deal with a website and things like that. So as we go down, it says here, the ideal candidate will have strong attention to detail, be efficient, and possess exceptional organizational skills. As I said before, I'm very detail conscious, and once I get used to a position, I'm very efficient. Once I learn the way something works, I can usually do it very quickly. And as I said, I've had a lot of practice, being efficient in a very fast-paced environment at my job and in the program. So I think that's prepared me for this position. And exceptional organizational skills. As I said, I've been able to kind of compartmentalize things in the program. There's always a lot going on. I have several things due at once, several projects. So kind of organizing how I'm going to get those things done is something I've had to learn. Of course, it's always still a work in progress, but I think I've become very strong in that regard. All right, so the primary duties include, but are not limited to, traffic materials for and administer digital contents and contests and promotions. I've learned about contests in promos, and I've actually had a bit of experience, at least sort of briefly in the beginning at my internship, learning about that. So I think I could definitely pick that up very quickly. Assist with print ads, trafficking, etc. As I said, I had a lot of experience with advertising from our copywriting class, and even from sales and from even management. We've always been talking about advertising through this whole process, so I definitely know quite a bit about that. Update sales collateral materials using Adobe InDesign. As I said, I've had some experience with Adobe InDesign in the past, and I own the suite, so I could always kind of, get well versed in it, in that way. Review magazine proofs monthly. Prepare ad page copies for editorial notebook review. Archive magazine files to disk, and do other administrative tasks. So all of this stuff, I feel like from our copywriting class and our sales class, I could be pretty strong in that way. I'm good in editing, writing, and then of course just preparing these ad page copies for the editorial notebook review. That's sort of what I had to do at the end of copywriting. So this is kind of stuff that I'm used to, and definitely stuff that I could pick up very quickly. All right, skills and qualifications, a bachelor's degree. Now, I don't have one of those, of course, but I do have 2 years of experience, obviously working on, copywriting, editing, and then learning the Adobe Suite. So I think that would kind of qualify, hopefully, as equivalent experience. Print production knowledge. I do have some knowledge of print production, probably more from my high school days. I used to work on the student newspaper, and so I went to a couple like institutes, sort of. I went to one during my high school year at UNC Chapel Hill, and I learned a great deal about print production there, and copywriting and all that stuff, and even laying out like a newspaper cover or magazine cover, and so I've learned quite a bit about that. Might be a little bit rusty, but I definitely can have retained that knowledge, I think. And once I get into the position, it would come back to me. All right, so knowledge of digital media, newsletters, promotions, display, advertising. Obviously, from the BBT program, I know a great deal about digital media. That's what I've been studying for 2 years. Familiarity with the Adobe Creative Suite, or the Mac platform. I've used Macs briefly in one of my Photoshop classes, but obviously I'm extremely familiar with the Adobe Suite, as we've been delving into that the last 2 years. Familiarity with marketing automation platforms such as Wishpond. Okay, I don't have familiarity with that, but I think I could definitely catch on pretty quickly. Strong attention to detail, organizational skills, and ability to handle multiple tasks and deadlines. The deadlines, I've talked about everything else so far in this list, but definitely meeting deadlines is something we've really had to work on. Especially in video production, sometimes it's bam, bam, bam. You got to get it all done. Sometimes in one day. So I'm definitely good at working under deadlines and under that kind of pressure. Strong oral and communication skills, written communication skills. Obviously, I've learned both of those in my performance classes, copywriting classes, and in just radio and TV video classes. We've learned to write and to perform. So I'm definitely strong in that way. Critical thinking and problem solving skills. Have had experience with that, of course. And even, my non-BPT classes, I've definitely had to do a lot of critical thinking and problem solving. So I think these whole 2 years I've been getting a lot of practice with that. Comfortable working with a database. I don't know what kind of database they're talking about. If it's something like Microsoft Excel, I've definitely had a lot of experience with that. But I'm definitely comfortable with it, I think, and I could learn it pretty quickly. Strong sense of teamwork and collaboration. Wow. Yeah, we've had a lot of practice with that in our program. So, pretty much every project almost was working with a team, whether it was one person or multiple people. And so I definitely have a strong sense of teamwork, both from the program and then, of course, from my jobs. Learning to work with people and make things happen. So flexibility. This is, I can be flexible with my school schedule. Sometimes not so much, just depends on what they mean by that. So we'll have to see. And ability to take initiative. Something I used to struggle with that I've gotten a lot better about. So I think this would also be a great opportunity for me to improve on that. And to kind of build that part of myself up a little bit more, to be more assertive. So overall, I think this would be a really great position for me. I've had a lot of experience writing. I love to write. And I definitely enjoy this magazine, and kind of getting to tell stories and getting to explore North Carolina would be really exciting for me. So I think this is a really great position for me. So here we see, it says send your cover letter and resume to Human Resources, which I did. I included the cover letter in the email, just the text, and then I attached it, and then I attached the resume. So haven't heard anything back yet, but we will see. So thank you.